30 world records were broken at the World Short Course Championships last week in Budapest, and in today's video I'm going to break down what race suits were worn in all of them events. And beyond that, I'm going to look at every single short course world record that stands today and what suit was used to help them achieve that swim. Now, before we go any further, don't start hating in the comments and telling me it's about the swimmer, not the suit. Of course it's about the swimmer. The world records are always about the swimmer. The swimmer will wear the suits they like, the suits they think make them the fastest, the suits they're sponsored by, and of course it's the swimmer that makes them world records happen. World records are an extraordinary thing. They're something that don't happen every day. Well, except last week, where they literally happened on more than one occasion every day, sometimes in the same event. But world records are rare. Look back at Paris. I think there's like 5 world records maximum some at their entire meet, the biggest meet of a 4-year cycle. And that's what made last week so special. The world records assure the fast swimming, the pool was quite literally on fire. But it is always about the swimmers. And that's why we had so many world records last week, because we have some of the most talented short course swimmers in existence. We have some of the best underwater kickers the sport's ever seen, and they really did put on a show for us. But I'm a nerd. I love race suits, and I know some of you do too. That's probably why you subscribe to me. And if you don't already subscribe to me, this is your cue to go and hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like. And we are going to nerd out. We are going to talk race suits today, and we are going to see what were worn for these 30 world records. And I'm going to go quite quickly through these swims and just talk maybe about some of the more surprising things we can see over these 30 world records. The first world record was from the undoubted star of the meet, Gretchen Walsh, who trained with Todd DeSorbo at the University of Virginia. Her first world record was in the 50 butterfly. She went a 24.0 wearing the Arena Primo, and she would break that world record one more time in the semi-final, where she would go 23.94, still wearing that Primo. In between the heat and the semi of Gretchen Walsh, we did see Summer McIntosh wear the Speedo Pure Valor to smash the 400 freestyle world record. After Gretchen, we saw Noe, also wearing the Primo, break his own 50 butterfly world record, and like Gretchen, he would then go and break it again, but that in the final with a 21.32, also wearing the Primo. Leaving this meet finished, both the men and women's 50 butterfly world record was achieved in this very Arena Primo here. Well, not this very one, this is a different one. It's the same color. It's a beautiful color. I think it's the most beautiful suit ever. Just have a quick look. It's the only suit on the shelf today. But they were wearing this colorway. It has the Arena logo instead of the Arena branding, and it has this beautiful white and gold taping down the back. That's what Gretchen and Noe wore when they broke their 50 fly world records respectively. After Noe's world record, we saw a 200 iron world record from Kate Douglas wearing the Arena Carbon Glide. And then Kate Douglas would lead off the 4x100 women's freestyle relay wearing that Carbon Glide, passing over to Kat Burkhoff wearing the Carbon Air Squared, Alex Shackle wearing the Speedo Pure Intent, and then finally Gretchen Walsh, who switched from the Primo to a Carbon Glide for this relay. We finished, this is all day one by the way, we finished day one with the 7th world record of day one, the men's 4x100 freestyle relay, which featured Jack Alexi in the Pure Valor, Kieran Smith and Chris Giuliano in the Pure Intent, and Luke Hobson in a Mizuno GX Sonic Neo SL or Streamline. And Luke Hobson's suit is going to bring us in today's video sponsor, which is Buyee. And if you've been around my channel for a while, you know I love Buyee. I've actually got a package coming from Buyee either today or tomorrow, which has nothing to do with swimming. It's just gifts I've bought for friends and family from Japan. And Buyee is a very simple service. You can browse literally hundreds of Japanese shops, from Mizuno Japan all the way to Yahoo Shop in Japan, to eBay Japan, to flea markets, and anything you buy from these Japanese shops that might only ship internally, domestically to addresses in Japan, you buy the product, they ship them, and it's real simple. You don't have to put in shipping details because you buy it through Buyee, so they already have the Buyee warehouse shipping details, you know, in the system. So you just press buy, you pay the money for whatever you've bought. In this case, maybe you're buying a Neo SL, what Luke Hobson wore for his 100 and, spoiler, 200 freestyle world records in the last week. They ship it to the warehouse. It's very cheap, and if you use my code in the description, you get a 10% discount. But there's also loads of Christmas holiday sales going on, so you might even be able to get a bigger discount if you check out Buyee right now. Once it's in the warehouse, you select the shipping option, and they will ship it to your address, be it for me in the UK, maybe you're in the US, Europe, Canada, wherever. They ship anywhere in the world. You do pay a little bit extra for shipping, but what I really like is you can get multiple items. So I probably spend like, they hold things for 30 days. So I spend like a period of 20 to 30 days buying different things, and then I put them all into one package, and then I pay shipping once, which is about £20 for me. It's 18 to £20 for everything. So maybe I bought 10 items from swim stuff to Pokemon cards, because as I said, I'm a massive nerd, and then they ship it all once over to me. Japanese swimsuits such as the Mizuno and ESL are super cheap. You can save 10% using my link, and it's a brilliant, smooth and efficient service you should check out. So cheers Buyee for sponsoring that. And back to the video. We start day 2, with Noe Ponte's 50 fly final, which was the world record, I've already mentioned that, and Summer McIntosh in the 200 butterfly wearing a Speedo Pure Valor once again. We then had Gretchen Walsh wear a carbon glide for the 100 IM world record in the semi-final, and then we had the women's 4x200 freestyle of Alex Walsh in a carbon glide, Paige Madden in a carbon glide, and then Katie Grimes and Claire Weinstein both wearing Tears of Victor. We then had the 100 fly heats by Gretchen Walsh, world record. She set the world record 3 times, and this is one of the first interesting things, however, because she wore the glide for the heat and the semi, and then she switched to the primo for the final, where she set the world record once again. And she was joined by Noe Ponte setting a world record in the 100 fly final, also in the primo. So the fastest 50 fly and 100 fly, men's and women's, are all in that beautiful primo I showed you earlier. I love the look of that suit, I genuinely do. After the 100 fly, we had Kate Douglas again. If you're not noticing a theme, the theme is Kate Douglas and Gretchen Walsh, and later Regan Smith as well. Douglas always wears the glide. Gretchen does switch between the glide and the primo, which is an interesting thing for sure. I personally prefer the primo, but maybe understand why she wanted the glide for the 100 iron, maybe for the breaststroke kick, although I don't think the primo has any problem with the breaststroke kick. So, hey ho. And then we had Regan Smith, 50 back world record, Pure Valor. We then had the 200 freestyle relay, men's, and that's where Luke Hobson broke Paul Biederman's X-Glide world record using the Mizuno Neo SL. And he was one of 3 swimmers on that team wearing the Neo SL. Luke Hobson wore it, Carson Foster wore it, Shane Cassis wore it, and Kieran Smith anchored that relay in a Speedo Pure Intent. And as I said, if you want to buy a Neo SL, Buyee is your best bet. Then we entered the day of history, where Jordan Crooks would wear the Mizuno GX Sonic 5MR, can also use Buyee for that, to break 20 for the first time. But that wasn't his first swim. In the morning he went 20.08, in the evening he went 19.9 in that 5MR, the multi-racer Mizuno GX Sonic. And interestingly, on the start of the meet in the 100 freestyle, he wore the Mizuno GX Sonic 6 SIA, the compressive release, very different to the 5MR. So he actually, between the 100, he wore the comfier, more malleable 6CR, and for the sprint event, the 50, he wore the MR, but not the Sprinter, which is just that level above in compression. The 5MR still has a lot of compression, mind you. Gretchen Walsh also broke the 50 freestyle world record twice, wearing the Arena Primo, and Summer McIntosh from the 400 IM, setting the world record in the Speedo Pure Valor. That was Summer McIntosh's Pure Valor 400 IM world record was the 24th world record of the whole meet, and Gretchen Walsh's 53 final was the 25th world record. We then had Regan Smith. This is now on the final day. There's 5 more world records on the final day. It's a 6-day meet, so we averaged 5 world records a day, although there's a couple of days of 7. So final day, day 6, Regan Smith, Pure Valor, 200 backstroke. Luke Hobson breaks the world record in the 200 free again, Neo SL. Regan Smith leads off the medley relay wearing the Pure Valor in the 100 backstroke, and she's joined by Lily King in the Tira Victor, Gretchen Walsh in the Primo on the fly, and Kate Douglas in the Carbon Glide again. And lastly, the 30th and final world record of last week was the the Neutral Athletes B, which is Russia. It was won by Miron Livinistev, Kirill Prigoda, and Igor Kornev, all wearing an Arena Carbon Air Squared, and Andrei Minikov wearing a Tier Venzo. That is the full list, and I'll put a spreadsheet if you actually just want to see all my data. I've spent today compiling it. Now, obviously, there was 30 world records set, but because 6 of them world records were relays, there will be more. There's actually 48 suits that swam a world record because of relays, right? So of that, the most world record swum suit was the Arena Carbon Glide with 11 world record swims. Arena Primo had 9 world records. Speedo Pure Valor had 8 world records. Mizuno Neo SL had 6 world records. The Speedo Pure Intent and Arena Carbon Air Squared had 4 world records. The Tira Victor had 3 world records. The Mizuno 5MR had 2 world records, and the Tier Venzo had 1 world record. Now we're going to look at all the short course world records as they now stand. Now we know the 53 men's world record because it was Jordan. The 100 free world record was Cole Chalmers, Arena Core FX. The 200 free world record is Hobson, obviously, in the NEOSL. The 400 free world record was Yannick Agnel. Now that's one of the older world records. And interestingly, he wore the Arena Carbon Pro, which by today's standard was a very high compressive, so almost sprint style suit. Yet he wore it for a 400 free world record that even at last week's ridiculously fastest ever short course meet or world meet of all time, well, they were like, it was 3 seconds off that world record. So that was kind of interesting. Dan Whiffen wore the Finnish Hydrox, the only Finnish suit that has a short course world record, the 800 world record, and Florian Wellbrook wore the Carbon Glide for the 1500 world record. The 50 back world record was from an Adidas Adi 020 by Klement Klesnikov, the only Adidas suit of all the world records. And Coleman Stewart wore the Mizuno 5ST for the 100 back. Mitch Larkin wore the Carbon Flex for the 200 back, with Emre Saki wearing the Air Squared for the 50 breast, Ilya wearing the Pure Valor for the 100 breast, and then Madwave got an entry with Kirill Prigoda's 200 breast world record, wearing the Madwave 4 shell. Obviously, Noe wore the Primo for the 50 and 100 fly, and the 200 fly was Tomoru Honda wearing the Aquaforce XMF. Dressel set the very special 100 IM world record in Pure Valor, and the 200 IM was also in a Pure Valor and Leon Marchand. The 4 IM world record was Daya Sato in an Arena Aquaforce MF, not the X or the Storm, the original MF. On the women's side, Gretchen Walsh obviously has the 53 world record in the Primo, but the 100 free is Kate Campbell in a Carbon Flex. Siobhan, obviously a dear world record to my heart, has the 200 free world record in the Arena Aquaforce XMF. Summer has the 400 free in the Valor. Katie Ledecky has the 88 and the 1500 freestyle world record in a Tier Venzo. And then all the 50, 100 and 200, the whole backstroke sweep is Regan in a Pure Valor. The breaststroke, 50 and 100, the 50 is Ruta Melatite and a Core FX. The 100 is tied between Alia and, two Alias, both wearing a Speedo Laser Elite, and Ruta wearing an Arena Carbon Pro, and the 200 is Kate Douglas from this weekend, as is the 50 and the 100 fly, and the 200 fly, and the 100 IM, and the 200 IM, and the 400 IM. We've already spoke about them world records because they were also in the last week. That's crazy, like on my list going down. Well, yeah, there was 30 world records last week, so I guess it's not that crazy that a lot of them were swum last week. Overall on brands, because I didn't do it because there's so many models, because we're over like a 14-year span of these world records. 19 short course meter world records are from Arena, 10 are from Speedo, 3 are from Mizuno, 2 are from Tier, 1 is from Madwave, and 1 is from Adidas. Whew, that's a lot of stats. Interestingly, I'd actually say a lot of the suits are very applicable for the races that are being swum. And I don't think that should come as a surprise. I think athletes are looking at the suits they maybe should be wearing, and that's I think why I found the Gretchen switches of so much interest, because she never wore the Primo until this meet, and even when she switched back to the Glide for the 100 fly, when it got to that final, you know, the big one, the one with the gold medal on the line, she decided, actually I'm going to go out with the comfort of the Glide that I'm used to wearing and wore at the Olympics, and go to that Primo which I feel fastest in. And when everything was said and done, she actually has all 3 out of the 4 of her individual world records in the Primo. So she has the 50, 100 fly and the 50 free wearing a Primo, and she has the 100 IM wearing the Glide. The Primo is a brilliant suit, you know I love it, as are the Mizunos. And as I said earlier, if you do want to buy a Mizuno, maybe you want to get someone a Christmas gift, maybe you just want to get ready for next year's season, then do go over to Buyee, save 10%. And honestly, like, they're so cheap. Buyee is so cheap for race suits. It just is, even with the shipping cost. You're getting like as I said, 6 world records or something in the last week wearing a Mizuno Neo SL. That's an older model, so you can probably pick one up for 120. If you save 10%, you might be able to get one for about 110. You pay 20 for postage. If you're lucky, you won't get import duties. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. There seems to be no rhyme or reason. But you're looking at under 150 quid for a suit that's run 6 world records last week, including 3 out of 4 members from the men's 4x200 American relay team. That's enough of me nerding out. I'm gonna blow my mind if I say another suit's name. I spent all day researching this, and I'll link the spreadsheet of all the world records and the swimmers that wore what suits for all them swims in the bio of this, along with the Buyee link. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what your favorite swimsuit is, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.